America, a country the world has long seen as an unstoppable superpower, a force that never loses, that wins every war, and that sets the rules for the rest of the world. But the real question is this: is America truly as strong as it's made out to be? Or is there a much darker reality hidden behind this polished image? One that could lead to serious consequences in the years ahead. History has shown us again and again that no empire lasts forever. Every superpower, at the height of its dominance, believes it is untouchable. But when arrogance begins to overpower reason, decline doesn't announce itself. It quietly begins. America's greatest weakness isn't its military or its economy. It's its overconfidence. America sees itself as the world's leader, the world's judge, the final authority on every global issue. And that mindset has dragged the country into wars with no clear objective and no long-term strategy. Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Syria, everywhere the United States applied force, the result was the same: chaos, instability, and growing resentment. Trillions of dollars were burned in endless wars, yet there was no real security gained, no lasting respect earned, and no permanent control achieved. The war in Afghanistan wasn't just a military failure, it was a psychological defeat. After 20 years with the most advanced army, the most powerful technology, and the most sophisticated intelligence network in the world, the United States was still forced to leave without achieving its goals. The images of American forces evacuating in haste sent a clear message to the world: money and weapons alone do not win wars. That conflict left a deep question mark over America's strategic judgment. And when we look at America's economy, the picture becomes even more unsettling. From the outside, the U.S. economy appears strong, but beneath the surface, it's drowning in debt. A major pillar of American power has always been the U.S. dollar, yet that advantage has been recklessly abused. Endless money printing, record-breaking borrowing, and the assumption that the world will always rely on the dollar. These are dangerous miscalculations. America's debt has reached levels that seem nearly impossible to repay, and if the global shift away from the dollar accelerates, the entire financial system could face a serious shock. The world is changing. Countries like China and Russia are actively building alternative systems. Trade in local currencies is increasing. Dependence on the dollar is slowly declining. If this trend gains momentum, America will find it extremely difficult to stabilize its economy. The U.S. financial system increasingly resembles a bubble, strong on the outside, fragile on the inside. And when such bubbles burst, their impact is never limited to one country alone. Inside America, conditions are far from ideal. The nation that once sold the dream of freedom and equality is now struggling to meet the basic needs of its own people. Healthcare costs are so high that many fear medical bills more than illness itself. Education has become so expensive that students begin adult life buried in debt. Housing prices have skyrocketed, pushing the middle class closer to extinction. While corporations and elites continue to grow richer, ordinary people are left just trying to survive. When public trust in a system collapses, national decline begins from within. Rising racial tensions, extreme political polarization, mass protests, and widespread social unrest are all signs that America's internal structure is cracking. People no longer listen to each other. Politics has turned into a ruthless power game. National unity exists mostly in speeches, not in reality. These are the conditions that hollow out empires from the inside. America's foreign policy has also severely damaged its credibility due to blatant double standards. It lectures the world on human rights and democracy, yet abandons those principles whenever its own interests are at stake. Supporting dictators in one region, overthrowing elected governments in another, and punishing entire populations through sanctions. The world is no longer silently accepting this hypocrisy. Global trust in American leadership is fading, and that loss of credibility is a major strategic setback. Sanctions have long been one of America's most powerful tools, but every weapon has its limits. When sanctions become the default response to every problem, other nations naturally search for alternatives. The world is moving toward a multipolar order, and America now faces the risk of standing increasingly alone. True superpower status isn't built on force alone. It depends on alliances, trust, and respect. When those disappear, power becomes symbolic rather than real. Perhaps America's greatest failure is its refusal to acknowledge its own mistakes. Every setback is blamed on someone else. Until the United States critically re-examines its policies, prioritizes its people, and breaks free from the illusion of dominance, these problems will only deepen. History is brutally consistent on this point. Empires that overextend, ignore their citizens, and rely solely on power eventually fall. This video isn't about hatred toward any nation or people. It's about confronting reality. America is a human system, and human systems are flawed. But when mistakes are repeated and lessons are ignored, even the strongest power begins to weaken. Real strength isn't just money or weapons. Real strength is justice, stability, and the trust of the people. And when those disappear, no empire, no matter how powerful it once seemed, can stand for long. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.